Yo, what up? It's Aaron Moses. Game. Now, this video is called Cops Who Forgot. I think I just need to get closer to the camera. That's why the light, yeah. Cops who forgot their cameras were on in the police station. And because this is such a long video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this up in parts. I'm probably going to pause a couple times because I do have to pee and I want to smoke a cigarette. But let's get it, man.
This officer was caught on camera doing the unthinkable with
Damn, she was out here sucking dicks. Come on now, what you about to do, baby?
an inmate, while this cop sent indecent pictures to not one but two underage inmates. Here's a look into some
What?
instances when cops forgot they were being monitored in the station.
Damn, baby.
Kawana Jenkins. During a standard shakedown at the Fulton County Jail, officers meticulously search the cells for any contraband. These searches are routine, aimed at maintaining security and order within the facility. But on this particular day, what they found was far from ordinary. Among the items confiscated by officers during the search was a contraband cell phone. Such devices are strictly prohibited within the jail, as they can be used for illicit communication and activities. But this cell phone held something far more incriminating than anyone could have anticipated. Upon examining the contents of the
I'm gonna get that video and we're gonna review it on Patreon. Follow my Patreon.
phone, officers discovered a sexually explicit video. The video showed 36-year-old Kawana Jenkins, a detention officer, engaged in a lewd act with an inmate. In the video,
36. This woman is the age of a grandmother. Look at her, bro. She's gonna be a grandmother in less than 5 years. And I know she got two kids, a boy and a girl. Travarius and Nefarious. Nefarious is the boy. No, actually, that's the girl, and they call her Fairy. That's her nickname.
Jenkins can be seen sitting in her uniform in one of the facility's offices, and a man's finger appears near her mouth. She then performs a sexual act on the man's finger before the video abruptly ends. The discovery of this video was followed by swift action by the Fulton County Sheriff's Office. An investigation was launched, and it was soon discovered that the man in the video with Jenkins was an inmate. The inmate in question was identified using the tattoos on his arm that are visible.
Pray for this man. He clearly got taken advantage of.
In the video, it turned out that the two were in some sort of relationship because Jenkins was in the habit of showering the inmate with gifts and had even gifted him a pair of Cartier glasses on one.
You got this man some buffs. You got this man $2,000 glasses, but you make $22 an hour. You can't afford that, baby. That's a check and a half. What you out here doing? You got kids. You got one in the chess club. The other one wants to play soccer, but you out here paying inmates to be inmates. $2,000. Showering this nigga with gifts. They didn't just say she only bought him. They said showering. You look at Fulton County Jail, you probably live in East Point. $500 a month for rent. Come on, bro. Get your priorities in order. You got
occasion.
kids.
While the investigation was ongoing, Sheriff Pat Labonte, committed to transparency and accountability, addressed the media in a press conference. In his statement, he emphasized the importance of upholding the law and the ethical standards expected of all employees. As Sheriff of Fulton County, I am committed to transparency and to holding each and every employee accountable to the oath they have taken to protect and serve our community.
She was protecting him and she was serving him. That's what I saw in that video, officer.
Of this one individual are certainly not a reflection of the men and women of the Fulton County Sheriff's Office. In the aftermath of the incident, Jenkins was immediately fired, arrested.
Damn, they put her ass in a spit bag? They put her head in a spit bag. She was wilding out. No, she was not going, bro. Her ass was, of course. She was on there sucking, doing whatever she was, sucking dick. Of course. Yeah, her ass went crazy, bro.
Charged with improper sexual contact, cruelty to inmates, and several other crimes related to her actions. Gemma Cooperthwaite.
Alright, that's what's up. So, I'm gonna pause right here. I'm gonna piss. I'm gonna be right back. See if I can't fix this quality of this internet here. I don't know why it's acting like that. I'm gonna put it on 480. Let it do what it do. And pause the video. There we go. All right, I'll be right back. Peace. Okay, let's get it.
Braithwaite was once a respected correctional officer at the St. Clair County Sheriff's Office, known for her
St. Clair, where? In Gary, Indiana? That's crazy.
dedication and professionalism. She was a model officer who took her responsibilities seriously. However,
that's
everything...
Lake County. St. Clair, that's Cleveland?
changed in July 2014 when she met a young inmate with a long history of criminal activity. The inmate, whose identity remains protected, had a rap sheet filled with 9 felony convictions, primarily for fraud.
It was a female inmate? Oh, she freaky.
Inmate's criminal background, Gemma found herself drawn to her. What started as casual conversations soon evolved into something more personal. According to Gemma, the inmate asked if she could contact her outside of the facility, and she agreed to share her contact information despite knowing that it was a breach of conduct. The inmate began to call Gemma frequently, asking for various favors. Gemma, believing she was helping someone in need, agreed to drive the inmate to work and even allowed her to use her house to shower during lunch breaks. However, what Gemma saw as acts of kindness, the law saw as an extreme abuse of power. It is possible that at some point, the relationship between Gemma and the inmate deepened, turning not just romantic but sexual. Any relationship between an officer and an inmate, even if consensual, is an extreme abuse of power. Inmates cannot consent in any formal manner to relations with guards or officers because allowing such relationships would lead to total chaos.
Wait a minute, I'm confused. So, she contacted her when she was in the world? And she was letting her use her shower, or was she on like work release and she let her bathe and do all of that at her house?
Relationship between the correction officer and the inmate who had caught her eye took a darker turn when the inmate accused Gemma of sexual assault.
Baby! Who is she? Kane County? Alright. I'll be there. Nah, I don't want to mess with the police.
Officer and the inmate who had caught her.
Sheesh! Officer OF? Yeah, you got that thing, baby. You got some cheek on you, boo.
I took a darker turn when the inmate accused Gemma of sexual assault. Gemma vehemently denied the allegations, claiming there was never a sexual side to their relationship. However, the evidence presented painted a different picture. An internal investigation was officially...
Wayne County, that's Detroit. Hey, Detroit, y'all rocking like that? Lucky you. Nah, I was messed with by 2 female cops. One, she was just trying to be all intimidating, but she was just so sexy. I was just like, You are you are the enemy. But, girl.
Launched on April 18, 2015. After the relationship between Gemma and the inmate was reported, Gemma was placed on administrative leave during the investigation. Shortly after, she was fired from her position. During the investigation, the inmate testified that the relationship had taken place at Gemma's home while she was on work release. Her team argued that...
See? They was doing some freaky things when she was on work release. She was abusing her power. No, she got manipulated and she liked what she likes because she's a human being and she has a fetish, and that's okay.
Gemma had abused her position of power to manipulate the inmate. Gemma, on the other hand, claimed she was the one being manipulated. A criminal investigation followed the internal probe, leading to a warrant for Gemma's arrest on April 24th. She was charged with second-degree criminal sexual conduct, a felony with a lengthy sentence. In a bid to avoid being locked away for a long time, Gemma took a plea deal and pleaded guilty to sexual assault with intent to commit penetration. On July 6th, 2015, Judge Dan...
What? She can't... That's not physically... You know what's so crazy about this type of law? Because if you're a police officer, I mean, it goes without saying that you're socially awkward in some kind of way. More than the average person, because if you have it in your mind that you should put people in jail, the bad guys, or you should keep prisoners in line, you have to be socially awkward in some form or fashion that's more extreme than the average human being. Okay? Why? Because there's a small percentage of people who have bipolar disorder. There's a very small percentage of people who have schizophrenia. There's a small percentage of people that are great leaders, small percentage of people that are great thinkers, small percentage of people that are in the military. Okay? And if you're in the military, uh you're a special human being. Not saying that you're socially awkward, but you have to be a socially awkward individual to be in the military. There's a small percentage of criminals, right? But at the end of the day, for you to be a police officer, because there's such a small percentage of these people who are socially inept or socially elite or socially awkward, I think to be a police officer, you have to have a certain type of awkwardness to you to think that it's okay to police people, to be the mother and the father of American citizens and uphold the law and things like that. To think that it's okay to put the world in timeout. I think you have to be very uh, neurologically built different. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a counselor. I don't have my degree. None of those three. But if you get taken advantage of, if a lion gets finessed by a zebra in this situation, I think that that's not a lion at all. I think that that person who already was socially awkward enough to try to be a police officer gets eaten by their own food. I don't think that should be a crime. Like that's you're not really a lion. So how could you make a lion pay lion prices when they're not even a lion? That's crazy.
Kelly sentenced Gemma to 10 months in jail, with 4 months suspended upon payment of fines and court costs. But that's not all. She will also spend the rest of her life on the sex offender registry. Woo! Even behind bars, Gemma held on strongly to...
They put her on the SO list for engaging with an adult that may or may not have been older than her. Y'all gotta be careful out here, bro. She could have been a teacher. She could have been a counselor. None of that. Babysitter's Club is over, nigga.
Belief that she had been manipulated and referred to her relationship with the unnamed inmate as the biggest mistake of her life. Caitlin Gomez. It all started on a seemingly...
Gomez. Caitlin Gomez.
Ordinary day at the Pinellas Regional Juvenile Detention Center. Staff members were conducting...
Never mind. R.I.P. Kurt Cobain.
Routine checks when they stumbled upon something truly shocking. Hidden within the bed of a 16-year-old inmate were 10 letters, each more disturbing than the last. These letters, written by none other than Sergeant Caitlin Gomez, detailed an inappropriate and illicit...
Sergeant Caitlin Gomez. Never mind again. Yo, it's still a go. And she looked good. Let me see.
These letters, written by none other than Sergeant Caitlin...
She looked like she used to be on Bad Girls Club. She got tattoos on her chest, and you hired her to be a police officer? A background check? Now you need to do a front ground check. Do you have chest tattoos? Dow. Well, let me see your titties. My tits? If you want this job, yes, let me see your tits. Well, you was gonna do that anyway, nasty girl.
Gomez detailed an inappropriate and illicit relationship that had developed between her and the young inmate. The discovery of these letters was nothing short of a bombshell. The letters were immediately handed over to the authorities, and an investigation was launched by the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office. The first thing investigators discovered was that the contents of the letters were explicit and left little to the imagination. The handwritten...
She said, nigga, I wanna suck. All right, look, peep this. For all the people that's under the age of, how old am I? I'm 33. Fortunately, thank God for me. If you're under the age of 20, I don't want to say 27, there's a great chance that you've never handwritten a letter to an inmate, okay? A letter, because I'm a nerd and I love to write more than anything. I think it feels great. Just the motion of it, I love it. And I used to draw. A page is a good 350 to 400 words, right? And I used to be an essayist. That's how much I like to write. So for you to do that 3 times, and if you freestyle it, if you don't write an outline, which takes more time, if you just sit down and, dear Slim, I wrote you, but you still didn't call me. If you do that, that's going to take you a good 30 minutes. So it takes about 30 minutes to an hour to write a very heartfelt letter on paper with your hands, with a pen or a pencil. And if you don't know what a pen or a pencil is, Google it on paper. If you don't know what paper is, Google it. Because I know we got phones and paper is just obsolete right now. That's why the real estate's going up, because y'all niggas don't use paper. But you did that for, what's the, an hour? Let's just say 40 minutes. 40 minutes. Back in front now. So a whole hour. Ooh, I want to suck that thing, and I know you're uncircumcised. I'm going to pull the skin back, and I'm going to talk. Like, she did that for 40 minutes. Twice. 10 times. And she got an envelope. If you don't know what an envelope is, Google it. She went to the post office. If you don't know what the post office is, Google it. And then she bought a stamp. And if you don't know what a stamp is, well, God bless you. She did that 10 times. Okay, so 40 minutes. That's an hour and a half. And if you don't know what an hour and a half is, that's like 6 SpongeBob episodes. And if you don't know what SpongeBob is, you're not even a red-blooded American. So shut your dumb mouth. So she spent all this time watching SpongeBob, writing these letters. 10 times. She wasn't taken advantage of. She wanted to do it. Free her. Nah, I'm just playing. That's not cool.
Messages
But
described in
free her. She's fine enough.
graphic detail what would take place during the first sexual encounter between Gomez and the inmate and revealed an ongoing relationship that had developed while the teen was incarcerated. The letters were not just a one-time lapse in judgment. Instead, they painted a picture of a calculated and premeditated affair. As the detectives delved deeper into the investigation, they discovered
Damn, they got bars on the chuck hole. If you don't know what a chuck hole is, this is the chuck hole. That's what it is. In Cook County Jail, which I've never been, what I heard was they called it the chuck hole because they chuck your food, because they put it in a tray. You either have to receive it when it's dinner, from what I heard. When it's dinner, you have to receive it because they put 2 trays together to make sure the food doesn't fall out. And then when it's breakfast, they just, breakfast! They don't even care. They just slang them and put the milk right there. It's toxic, to say the least. I've never been to jail, fortunately. I know I'm black, but get those racist thoughts out your mind. But damn, that's crazy.
Photo of Caitlin Gomez in the inmate's cell. This further confirmed the inappropriate relationship and added another layer of evidence against her.
He
The
could have
photo,
sued. This nigga's about to be a million, rich forever.
along with the letters, was a clear indication that Gomez had crossed a line that should never be crossed. Gomez had been hired as a sergeant on January 5th, 2024.
Shit,
Just
she
3
could cross my line, sure.
weeks into her assignment, she was placed in charge of a pod that included the 16-year-old inmate. It was during this time that the relationship between the two began to develop. Despite being instructed not to be alone with any of the juveniles, Gomez was seen one-on-one with the inmate several times. This raised suspicions among the staff, but no one could have predicted the extent of her actions. When confronted by investigators, Gomez admitted
Dick. God damn.
to writing the
Excuse me.
letters and
Sorry.
developing a relationship with the teen. She confessed that she had fantasized about having a sexual
Why
relationship.
would you do that? You know he's not gonna be with you, sweetheart. You put your life on the line for this man. This is not even a man. He's 16.
With him, and even planned to build a life with him once he was released from the detention
Oh yeah,
center.
her ass is crazy. I know I keep pausing it. I could do that because you're watching my and I'm not watching yours. You're not cracking like that.
Her admissions were both shocking and disturbing. Gomez was immediately fired from her position and arrested on one count of solicitation of a child to engage in an act that constitutes sexual battery by a person in familial or custodial authority. She was booked into the Pinellas.
That's 2 felonies. Pinellas. Okay, now we know how to spell it. Okay, they got a palm tree. That's in California. Oh yeah, he had some game. That nigga was from Oakland. That nigga was from the O. He said, "I'm gonna take you to the O, baby." You ever heard of King Von? I'm not from that O, but I can make you say, "Oh yeah," when I get out of here. Shout out to the young homie. Okay, that's in Florida. Yeah, he got some game too. Them Florida niggas be having game. What you wanna know? I know I'm a jit, but that nigga was, man, he was laying the smack down on that hound. You know what I'm saying? I know he smacked, and they didn't charge her with that, but I know he put a crack on her back. Let's get to it. I don't want to.
County Jail, where she remains to this day as the investigation is still ongoing. Zuleika Santiago.
Damn! With all these freaky Latinas, where are y'all at? Find me. I'm a criminal. I've been in jail probably like, shoot, I'm not gonna say all of that because I got a good job, baby. But hit my Instagram, Aaron3_Moses. If you're a freaky correctional officer, come on, baby. I'm not too PTSD'd out to go on eBay and we could do it our way and fulfill all your little fantasies and things. You don't even have to be a correctional officer. You could just be a fine-ass Latina with no kids. Or if you have a kid, make sure the baby daddy's not involved. Maybe he died. Maybe he's in prison for life. Hit me up, man. My snap is only Aaron Moses. That's only for the ladies. If you're a male or a man or a woman that looks like a man, you will not be added back. I'm just giving you a heads up. Don't even waste your time. Let's get it.
Zuleika Santiago had a promising career in law enforcement until she started to forget that there were cameras and other officers watching her every move.
So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna break this into 2 videos. I don't want to do that. I want to smoke another cigarette and I have to pee again. That's that good Budweiser, man. That's that good Budweiser and then the Proxen, bro. Don't mix the 2. I have a back injury. I'm special. I've been drinking for a long time. I've been doing pills for a long time, so I know how to, I know how to fight the great fight. But it is what it is, not what it's not. It's Aaron Moses. I'm the band, you the band, and I'm not in a gang. I think I got my bandana. This is an A for Aaron, and then an M for Moses. I'm not in a gang. Shout out to the Crips, shout out to the Bloods, shout out to the Vice Lords, especially a special shout out to the GDs. I'm not a BD. And I'm not in any of those organizations or gangs that I just named, except for one. You be the judge. I'm just playing. I'm not. I'm cool. I'm a square. But, yeah, man. Have a good day. Love y'all. Like this video, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell button so I won't go to hell button. And make sure you comment to let me know what you want me to do a reaction to next, man.